December 19, 2003, a chilly winter morning in New York City. Inside the corporate offices of Bank of America, a compliance officer stares at a faxed document. The document is a single-page confirmation letter. It bears the Bank of America logo and asserts that an offshore account belonging to a Cayman Islands company named Parmalat holds precisely 3.95 billion euros, roughly 4.8 billion US dollars. For months, this piece of paper has been the bedrock of credibility for Europe's grandest dairy conglomerate, Parmalat. It is the proof that the global milk giant is sitting on a mountain of liquid cash. More than enough to cover its mounting debts. The compliance officer runs a check through the bank's internal registries. There is no such account. There are no billions of euros. The document in their hands is a complete fabrication. It was not generated by a sophisticated cyber intrusion or an international syndicate of master counterfeiters. It was created in a back office in northern Italy using a scanner, a pair of scissors, a bottle of whiteout correction fluid, and a cheap photocopy machine. With those basic tools, executives at a multinational corporation convinced global markets, major credit rating agencies, and international banks that billions of dollars existed where there was only empty air. Within days, the company's stock price collapses to zero. A 14 billion euro black hole is revealed at the heart of the Italian economy, sparking what regulators will call the largest corporate bankruptcy in European history. But to understand how we got here, we need to go back to the beginning. To understand the scale of the Parmalat collapse, one must understand the city of Parma. Nestled in the fertile plains of Emilia-Romagna in northern Italy, Parma is a place where food is not merely an industry, it is a religion. It is the birthplace of Parmigiano Reggiano cheese and prosciutto di Parma. For decades, the region's economy relied on the patient, traditional rhythms of agricultural preservation. In 1961, a 22-year-old college dropout named Callisto Tanzi decided to disrupt those rhythms. Tanzi had recently inherited his family's modest cured meats and tomato paste business after his father's passing. He was ambitious, deeply religious, and possessed an innate understanding of post-war consumer desires. He realized that the traditional milk distribution network in Italy was highly fragmented and inefficient. In the early 1960s, milk was still delivered daily in glass bottles. It spoiled within 48 hours.